All right, welcome. Where are you? What are you? Whatever. All right, come on. Come here, girlie. Come here. Come on. Get up. There you go. Sit. All right, so Wummy is joining me as my co-host. Whoopsie. She's struggling. All right, here we go. Sit. Look. Over there. Okay. So Wummy's joining me as my co-host because apparently Zarek has decided to just up and do some interior decorating. I'm not entirely sure why we're supposed to be starting the show, but also, why are you putting that there? Unfortunately, I don't think you can read the sign from there, but I will read it for you. It says, "Caution, pooping in progress." So I'm not sure what the thought is behind that. I'm guessing he thinks we will just randomly evacuate our bowels while we're doing the show. So anyway, we have. Well, one thing I want to say is I know the last show got we released it late Wednesday, but we actually recorded it on Tuesday evening, right before the State of the Union. So we will be. Hey, thank you for finally joining me.
Yo.
Can you explain why you felt the need to
I can't really
hang a pooping in progress sign?
Well, because that is exactly what we're gonna do today on this podcast is poop all over it.
All right. Well, I was unaware of that, and I wouldn't have signed up if I had known. But thank you, Wummy, for filling in, even though you had a little bit of issues staying on your chair. But it was a valiant effort. So what I was just telling the listeners was that while we did release it on late Wednesday, the last podcast, we actually did it on Tuesday evening before the State of the Union.
Yeah.
So we will want to talk about the State of the Union. And right off the bat, I have to say congratulations. The little stunt you pulled where you stood up and clapped, that was pretty much it. That was spot on. Like every sentence, there was applause for the State of the Union. You know, when you had me pretend to be the president and you stood up in the middle of it and you.
Is it
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. Well, I watched it a little bit, but I would not watch the whole thing because they do that so much.
Right.
Like you can go on the news and they'll do the highlight reel, get all you need to know.
Right.
And
and you can get recaps. You also have to be careful where you get recaps from because there's heavy bias on both sides.
But so no way I was about to watch an hour, how long it was, of just.
Although I did not watch the entire thing, but I watched a good amount of it. And one, I will say, yes, not a fan of the clapping every second or a sentence or two sentences. But I also think the opposite reaction that the Democrats did this time was petty, where they sat down and pretty much refused to clap the entire time. And they wouldn't even, a lot of them wouldn't even look at the president, and they were kind of sneering the whole time. I don't love the format of clapping all the time, but if that's the norm,
give
and
respect
you guys,
where respect is due.
Exactly. You're what, an average of probably 60 years old. You in a way run this country, and yet you're gonna act like a kid on the playground that took his ball and went home because you didn't like how they picked teams or whatever.
Yeah. My thing is the parties, the African American caucus, where it's called, when he would say something about African American unemployment rate is at an all-time low, and they just sat there silent and angry. I'm like, dude, that's your cause,
right? And it is true. African American unemployment, that statistic has been recorded for 45 years, and it has never been lower since it has been recorded. So, which is awesome. And it's awesome that just unemployment in general is going down.
It's the State of the Union speech he needed to do.
Yeah, and that was the thing too. He actually came out and sounded presidential.
Homie killed it. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
like
it was really good.
Yeah, it's true. Like his normal, like off the cuff. He did speak frankly about certain things, such as North Korea and how we need to have a heavy. Unfortunately, we need to have a heavy hand with North Korea. But
he had a lot of people there, like
yeah,
a lot of stories to help like get his point across, and like someone who like was in the North Korean army and escaped, and
yeah, the refugee, he had him there, which was awesome. And he showed like a couple kind of everyday guys that like, you know, had gotten like better jobs or whatever. And so that's cool too, I think. And I know it's like it's a publicity stunt, whatever. And in some ways it is.
Oh yeah.
In some ways it is, but at the same time too, like that's us. That's the average person like sitting there watching it is just that average, you know. When are you and I gonna escape from North Korea? Like, it's just not gonna happen. And it's awesome. Right. And it's awesome to hear those stories, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, the story of a guy that got a raise at work, or the story of a guy that was able to go and get a job, a higher paying job, like that's gonna be us. That's gonna be the average person listening to it. So, I thought it was good, and
I diggy dong dig that speech.
Yeah, and he also, I think he talked about, and for some reason this made the liberals go nuts too, which didn't make a lot of sense to me. But he said basically like countries that are sworn enemies of the United States that have said, you know, down with the United States, we want Americans to die, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're going to stop giving foreign aid to them, and we're going to make sure like our foreign aid that goes out is going to go out to our allies. And for some reason, people are like freaking out like, oh, that's xenophobic, whatever. And I'm like, to say that people that are bent on your destruction aren't going to get your money, like
it's like someone who
I'm not
robbed your house.
And I'm not even talking about a business money. I'm talking about like handouts.
Yeah, it's like someone who robbed your house. You go up to them like, "Oh no, you're in time of need, so here's my paycheck."
Right,
like, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah, is that or somebody that like threatened to like rape your family or something? You're like, "Oh, well, here's some money."
Well, that was thrown out there.
Well, but I'm. But
I know.
It's kind of. It is what it is. Unfortunately, and yeah, and I'm having a hard time finding the reason why I keep looking down is trying to find the specific quote. But here it is. When Trump was talking about North Korea, he said, "Past experience has taught us that complacency and concessions only invite aggression and provocation. I will not repeat the mistakes of past administrations that got us into this very dangerous position." And obviously a little bit of a shot at Obama, but it's not just Obama. It's in the past too. And like complacency and concessions, you know, basically taking a back seat and being like, it's not really going to be an issue. And then giving concessions like, oh, well, you know, they're doing nuclear testing, but whatever. We'll allow it. You know, it only invites aggression and provocation. It's not just with North Korea. It's been countries in the Middle East too. Like when you just kind of lay back and you let them do it and you're like, well, don't do that, you know, the line in the sand thing. And then they do it and it's like, okay, well then don't do this.
Yeah.
It just invites aggression. It invites people getting more and more bold.
That's something Trump's done really well.
Yeah.
He draws the line.
Yeah.
No one's crossed it. No one's going to.
Exactly. And I think part of that just like angrily like throwing out statements and stuff actually kind of help because it's like, okay, this guy's like
right, he doesn't like, have his mind together.
Right. Well, and it's a little bit, it's like I think he'll be aggressive because he's a little unhinged.
Yeah.
But in a good historical lesson is even like you look back at World War II. It's funny how we never want to learn from history, because in World War II Hitler, yes, he invaded Poland, but before he ever even invaded Poland, he politically just took countries such as the Rhineland, which was on the outskirts of Germany at the time. And when he did it, the world leaders, such as was it Neville Chamberlain, the prime minister at the time of Great Britain, they were just like, all right, fine. Like if we let him do that, if we let him have that, then he'll just stop.
Appeasement.
Yeah, exactly. Appeasement.
Freshman year, world studies going.
But well, if we let him do that, we'll just stop. And no, it just invited aggression. It just made him more bold and set him up to do even more egregious and aggressive things. And so I think it's good that we have a leader that's learned from that. But I think that, like, even though he did make those statements, he was poised, he was controlled, and he did, you could tell, like, the speech was planned before and it wasn't just completely off the cuff, and he did sound presidential. And I think that threw the other side into even more of a frenzy. And then they had to almost manufacture things like to be upset about.
Like I saw stuff like it was a divisive speech, and I'm like,
yeah,
and like all
it's divisive because he said we're not giving money to our enemies.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's divisive because he says we need to control our borders to protect our citizens. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It gets kind of crazy. But overall, I definitely, yes, I agree with you, the clapping thing. But I was happy. I think he did a solid job.
Pretty solid job.
Yeah.
We can get back into more politics later. I don't want to bombard everyone with politics, but it was a pretty political week.
It was.
But we can talk about it later.
Yes, we will go ahead.
Not everyone loves the whole politics thing, but they love us, so they push through.
Exactly. We thank you for your love. And
to our dozens and dozens of supporters out there.
Thousands. Soon to be millions. No, it's we thank you, you faithful few.
Yeah. If we ever get big, we're gonna get our own studio and put their usernames, like all the first 12 subscribers, put their usernames on.
And pictures
on the wall behind us.
And a touching, heartfelt tribute from both Zarek and I.
Yeah.
To each person.
We're like a freestyle rap.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was saying.
We will rap it. We'll just turn around, read it, and rap it.
Let's just scrap the podcast. Let's have an hour-long freestyle, like.
Yeah, Zarek, you're so great. Even though you're always late.
Oh,
putting up the podcast and getting here. Yeah, maybe a little queer.
Oh, hey. Oh my.
See, that's my freestyle skills. So it's
we won't never touch on that again.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, not that bad.
I think with a little practice, I could come along even more.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's something I can't quite remember what it is, Zarek. What's happening today? In the overall world.
I already made this joke.
The United States.
But I'm going to do it again. The puppy bowl. Yeah.
That was so good we decided to recycle it. We're going green on this show.
It
happens to be my last name as well.
Yeah, it is. It is the Super Bowl today. We got the Patriots. And
woo!
Okay, you just peeked the mic. Oh my goodness. And then we got the
I'll stand
Eagles.
back here when I yell.
Yeah, dude, point up when you do that.
What, like a wolf? Woo, woo, woo!
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to scream in the mic. Okay. Okay.
It's puppy bowl time.
We got the Patriots, and we got the
I actually
Eagles.
made my dog come to the edge of the bed with that. Yes, I want me to move her. Wait, hold on. I know it's dangerous to turn it, but oh, there she is, beautiful as ever. All right, well, there we go. Zarek's back.
That's a nice little book swivel.
I know. Swivel. We got our own camera swivel,
which consists of a Tim Tebow book.
Tim Tebow's the man.
Okay, well. Anyway, Patriots and the Eagles. Today is the day.
Today's the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Where the underdogs try to take over the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Woo woo!
No, up. We gotta go up. Stop. Okay.
Okay.
So, a quick topic.
Yes.
Moving past this game. Is Tom Brady done? After this game, is this his last game?
Well, here's the deal. No.
Yeah,
but that's the short answer. The longer answer is
no.
No way in HE double hockey sticks.
Heck.
You know, to keep this on the PG side. Yes, no, in heck, if they win the Super Bowl, is he going out on 2 straight Super Bowls and the potential to make it 3 straight? Because if you remember right, in pretty much the beginning of his career, I believe he won 3 straight. It was either 3 straight or 3 out of 4 years.
I actually have no clue on that.
Yeah, one or the other. So he's not going to. But even if they lose the Super Bowl, I mean, the whole what is that, like, little TV show that they're doing now is Tom Against Time?
Yeah.
His whole thing is, hey, I'm 40 years old, but I have this basically like customized diet plan and workout regimen that's going to keep me viable for like 5 more years.
You really think her 45 her be playing football?
I don't really know, but I know that this isn't the last year. Even if they lose, even if the Eagles, and yes, like I said before, I'm rooting for the Eagles because I love underdogs. But even if they beat them, he's not quitting this year. I mean, he's still, like, statistically in a lot of ways, not every way, but in a lot of ways had his best year this year. So you're not going out on all that. But, and I know.
So what's the difference between that and Peyton Manning? Because Peyton Manning did.
Well, when Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl, he was a shell of his former self. Like he barely managed to not ruin it for the incredible defense that they had.
Yeah,
and it was unfortunate because just a couple years before that, when he was on the Broncos, he was actually having like his best statistical years. So you never know, in like 2 years or whatever, that might be Tom Brady. But I am a Peyton Manning fan, and I'm not bashing him, but arguably, like, he's still at the end of his prime, like, which is weird, but
no, I couldn't agree more.
But that's, I mean, when Peyton came to, I mean, what was he, like 37, 38 years old when he came to the Broncos, and he had, like, statistically, like the first couple of years, statistically some of his best years. So
you know what he's doing now? We're doing the same thing, actually. Me and Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Working for Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
Yeah. Nationwide, that would be $50 sent to our email for that advertisement plug.
No, just don't sue us.
Oh, yeah.
Zarek, I have fun hosting this with you.
Cool.
Well, all right. I was looking for a little reciprocation there, but apparently that's too much to ask.
Well, we should probably do a different jingle. Daniel Green, I have fun hosting this with you.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
See, your freestyle skills are a lot better than mine.
That's sad, though. Because my freestyle skills are like a 2 out of 10.
Oh, if there was a beat on, I could probably get pretty flanged. Okay, I don't really want to.
Oh, so that was like an
It's applied. Like,
yeah, that was an idle brag.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe on like the Instagram page, I can just do like this super hot.
He'll be
fire.
like, "Oh yeah, this is me freestyling," and then I'll pop on and be like, "Yeah, after 4 hours of practice."
Bro, how do you think Eminem did it?
He
practice.
Yeah, I think
you gotta lose yourself in the moment. The music, you gotta own it.
Yeah.
Okay. More on the Super Bowl. Sorry, we're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, you seen the commercials of? It's like they've done it all the playoffs, where it's like there's a rapper like Ray Shimon, or I forget what his actual name is, but
who?
It's some rapper. He's my.
Because I just heard Horatio Moan.
Ray Shimon, I think.
Oh, Ray Shimon.
Yeah, basically.
Like Ray Barone off of Everybody Loves Raymond.
I guess so.
But a little different.
A little darker in skin tone.
Oh, okay. And he raps rather than write comedy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But
just a couple differences, not much.
They have him like for each team. They're like, the Eagles are hungry, and like the playoff is. You know what I'm talking about? You don't.
If the Eagles are hungry, wouldn't they just eat like a little mouse or a squirrel?
They're like, and they're not hungry for a cheesesteak. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No clue.
They did it for every team in the playoffs.
No clue.
Okay, well, when you see it today, you're like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
It's kind of cool, but like,
What do they do for the Bengals? My team, by the way. I know I said that before.
Yeah. Did the Bengals make it in the playoffs?
Oh, just the teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a playoff advertisement.
In my head, they did.
Well,
there's a whole different playoff scenario.
The Bengals would have won the past 5 Super Bowls, and Daniel said
10. The past 10.
Yeah.
But
so yeah,
it's
that commercial is a thing, and I mess with it. I like the NFL embracing my generation. Because they need to. There's something we talk about. The NFL ratings going in the tank. And I believe that this Super Bowl will be the lowest watched Super Bowl in quite some time.
I don't know. It might be, but I'm taking a wait-and-see approach on that. I know some people are predicting that, but I'm taking a wait-and-see. As well as, I mean, here's the thing. If it's like, I forget how they do it. I know it's like a certain kind of point system or whatever for the ratings. But if it's like I'm going to make up a word. If it's minusculely lower than the others, then it really doesn't matter. It's just if there's like a decent gap. Like it's lower and there's a decent gap between that one and the next one. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know. We've talked about the whole lower half of millennials. It's basically the lower half of society and the lower half of history. Well, not half, probably like lower 2%.
Yeah.
But
I really want it to like people who act all crazy my age. I really like to see in when they turn 25, yeah, this is weird. I probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. Like, when does it click?
I don't know. Hopefully.
When did you? I don't think you've clicked yet.
I'm still clicking. But no, there came a point. Like, I love to still be goofy, and I think I'll always be a big kid. But there came a point where it's just like, hey, you got to grow up. You got to take care of adult things and whatever.
Boo.
And I actually think part of it is because, like, this generation, yes, I know we've had, like, the Iraq and Afghanistan war, but, I mean, it's been winding down for, like, 7 or more years. So I think part of it is, like, this, like, really new generation, like, high teens, low 20s of adults hasn't really, like, faced much of any kind of, like, opposition. And, like, when you face hard times and stuff, it sucks. When you face opposition and when you have to fend for yourself and like all those things, it sucks, but it forces you to grow up. And I think like a lot of, I don't know, they just haven't been forced to. I see what you mean. And another thing I wanted to talk about too, Zarek, which I thought was really cool. I actually saw a video, and I know I told you about this right before we restarted the show, and you said you hadn't seen it. So if you get a chance, as well as if any of you listening get a chance, there's actually a video of Nick Foles' testimony of receiving Christ, which is really, like, it's solid.
And for the people who don't know who that is.
Nick Foles is, well, Carson Wentz was the quarterback of the Eagles, and then he got injured right before the regular season ended. Nick Foles came in, did okay, and then has done awesome in the playoffs, so he was their backup quarterback. But fun fact, he was actually their starting quarterback a couple years ago. Did pretty well, then like not so well, and they traded him away. Then they brought him back as the backup, and he's doing not too bad in the playoffs. But anyway, they showed his testimony of receiving Christ as a savior, and like how he's a Christian, and just how he tries to live the Christian life and be a spiritual leader in his family and everything. And it was really cool. It was solid. And then apparently there's a video too that they have of like different players from both teams like giving their testimonies and stuff, which was cool. I look forward to seeing that. I haven't seen it yet, but definitely look forward to seeing that.
So no matter who loses or wins, we all win with Christ.
Boom. No, it's true. It really is true. So Christ is what makes it worth it. But yes, so I gave my prediction 27-14.
What was mine?
Patriots, And yours, you said you followed the Madden simulation
But
that
I
you'd
swapped
seen,
it.
but you swapped it, and I know you were saying the Eagles were gonna win, but I can't remember what the score was.
It was like, I don't know.
You don't remember your own prediction.
No.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's documented.
I'm disappointed.
Like
It is.
go
It
back.
is documented. We will figure that out and let y'all know.
But it's like an Eagles last minute win is one.
True.
And I really want it to be a close game.
Yes. I also want to take this moment to publicly berate you for not getting our Twitter up and going. Because
Bro,
I actually on air gave my word and promised them we would be tweeting out a pic of the original creepy Mr. Potato Heads, but that cannot happen until we get a Twitter. Zarek.
okay.
I don't do that stuff because I am social media disabled.
So you can learn.
Mentally
He's
disabled.
up here on his high horse. Like
I'm disabled.
I don't know. I don't know how to do this, so I'm gonna cast it down on Zarek and make him do everything.
No, I'm casting it up. You're better than me at social media. Remember, you're a lower half of millennials.
See, I would let you like I would make it and I'll let you keep in charge of it, but I'm pretty like all old people are really cringy on social media. Like one of my mom's first and like only tweets was like the day of the Super Bowl where the Broncos were in, and it was "Go Broncos."
You just called your mom an old people.
And you.
He takes that back, Mama K. He loves you. He cherishes you. And he does not think you're old. If
Why you
she
gotta call?
ever even
No,
watches this.
she actually doesn't. My dad does.
She needs to subscribe. Mama K, subscribe.
We like call out everyone
As
in
well
our
as
lives.
anyone else. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go through a list. Next week, I'm writing a list, and I'm reading it off.
If you're not subscribed, then you're out of our lives.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm going to text it to each and every person I know that is not subscribed. We're not above coercion and manipulation and blackmail. I have secrets of other people's.
Alright, I'm gonna smoothly segue this to something else. Daniel, what's that on the table?
Oh, yes. This. See, I'm going to preface this. When I make promises based on things that I have to take an action on, which I guess is a life lesson for me, don't make promises when someone else has to do the action. But when I make promises of things that I will take the action on, I come through. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what you think it is. This is a beautiful, 100% authentic Rubik's Cube. And yes, I have been practicing. And yes, in case you're wondering, I do suck. They're called like algorithms, which I know like for mathematics and stuff. But for this, it's basically just a series of moves. Well, an algorithm's kind of just a formula like to move off of. And I know one algorithm, and so far, and this algorithm that I know is actually, as far as I can tell, completely useless. The algorithm.
I'm gonna get this done.
Here, no, you're not. No. Okay. So the algorithm I know is it's R prime or R inverse, which I'll tell you this. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you Rubik's Cube notation real quick. Okay.
No one cares.
I'm teaching you Rubik's Cube notation.
I don't care.
Bro,
I sucked at math.
That you don't care. No, it's not. It's not math. It's not math. Okay, so here's the deal. So there's R, L, U, D, F, and B. R is right. L is left. U is up. D is down. F is front. B is back. So it's just the first letter of each of the ones. So when you're talking about R, you're talking about moving the right hand side. When you're talking about L, left hand side. U or up, down, front, and back.
Ooh.
And one thing to remember is when you're talking about the sides, the different sides of it, you'll do it by color. And the way you know what color that's supposed to be is by the middle, because the middle can never turn, like it can never change. So that's going to be the orange side, green side, whatever. But anyway, when you're doing stuff,
oh, I see what you mean.
the middle one can't.
Oh.
When you're doing stuff, not unless you flip.
Yeah, that's right. That was
So whenever you say R or L, it's just you're grabbing that side and you're doing a clockwise turn. So for this way, it's gonna be like that's clockwise. This, since it's on the opposite side, that's clockwise. Then there's kind of two different schools. One will say inverse, one will say prime, and that just means you're going counterclockwise or backwards. So R prime is grabbing the right side and going backwards with it. Or U prime, rather than, that's clockwise. Or not U, this is F. F, you would go backwards. U, that's clockwise, that's counterclockwise. There's like R2, L2, U2, whatever, and that just means you do two full turns, so you do like a 180 with it. And there's another one where like you can turn both, but I really haven't gotten that far yet. I know it's like a lowercase u or whatever, but anyway, so I will show you. Whoops, I kind of let this drop out. Okay, I will show you the algorithm I know that's completely useless. It is.
He solves it right now.
Yeah, no, it is R prime or R inverse, L prime or no, D prime or D inverse, which is the bottom. So you turn it, what would be clockwise from the top, because it's counterclockwise for the bottom. Then it's R and then D. And so you go R prime, D prime, R, D. And it's 6 of those. So I've done 2. So that's 3. And then 4, 5, and 6. And the crazy thing about that, what I accomplished, it just resets your cube. So I don't understand like when you would actually ever need that. It basically,
why
if you
want
to do a whole bunch of moves, because it's the first one they teach you. I don't know why, but it is.
So skip ahead to like the last step.
I can't skip ahead to the last step because I got to know, like I said before, you can't just memorize a bunch of turns. You have to like memorize formulas, and then like based off of those formulas, you're also kind of looking for different things. Like the first thing you need to do is when you grab that, when you get that side, you got to make a cross. And I'm still working on it, but I'm terrible at it and haven't been able to do it yet. But you want to make a cross, so you want these 2 to be orange and those 2 to be orange. But when you do it too, you can actually get the wrong ones and put them in there. But the way that you know is if I make this one orange, this one right here has to be blue because you want it to match up. And so if I make this one orange, since that's the yellow side, this one needs to be yellow. So basically these 2 right here, these 2 right here need to be flipped. And I know I showed him, but I'm not sure if. So basically like you want a cross right here. You want that and that to be orange. But like what I was showing him was if you make this one orange, so this is the green side right here. So this one right beside it needs to be green. And if you make this one right here orange, that's the white side. So this one right here is going to need to be white. Otherwise, you actually grabbed a wrong color and put it in there, and it's not going to actually help you solve it. So I'm working on that right now. Still got a long ways to go, but cheer me on. And thank you for your support.
So if you enjoyed that, you're a nerd.
Or an aspiring nerd who's not quite smart enough to be an actual nerd, which is where I am.
Yeah, which is kind of worse.
Yeah.
You're not even good enough to have the title
exactly.
nerd.
I'm a wannabe nerd.
You're a wannabe nerd.
But yes.
Well, I'm proud of you for going through with your promise.
Yeah, well, starting. But I will finish one day. I will finish. I promise.
I bet I can make a Twitter before you can solve that.
But yeah, I'm going to say it's doable, but are you going to do it?
I'll get around to it. You know, it's pretty busy. It's a busy time.
I think it's a lazy time for you.
Yes.
Thank you for your honesty. So yes. Something. Well, I'm sorry.
I want to apologize for my hair. I usually keep it on tip-top shape, but
yes, because as Jakey so aptly pointed out, you are the sexy one. He's the looks of our show. I'm the brains of our show, which is sad because my brains aren't that good.
And which is also really good because I'm really attractive
and humble.
Yeah, for sure. That just goes along with it.
Exactly.
I know now there's like a couple people like watching this like, wow.
He actually is a humble guy, but he turns it on for the show.
Yeah.
No, I actually when I was watching the episodes before, like you had your hair like all done up or whatever, and like in the middle of it you'd be like I was just like, no, not like headbanging,
oh
but
my
you're
goodness.
Like, oh, dude, you got like the old Bieber look going on.
No, this
now.
is like Coconut Head. Do you ever watch that?
Yes.
Declassified?
Yes, Coconut Head, but it's kind of old Bieber-ish too.
Coconut Head.
No, but he had like a little thing in the middle of his forehead, and he'd just be like randomly like, whatever. And I'm sure the girls at home watching were like swooning, like,
oh, swooning. Oh, stop with that
look
word.
at that hair flip. No, swooning. It's the old school language I was talking about. It's good.
Yeah, I know.
It's solid, and it's here to stay, my friend.
Hashtag no more swoon.
Hashtag too good to die.
Hashtag stop screaming in your microphone.
I'll scream.
Stop it. Oh my goodness.
Puppy Bowl 2018. Can't wait.
People are listening to this in their car radio. They're like swerving all over the road. Like they're trying to get the volume on. Like,
down. Stop howling, you idiot.
Or they're like the windows are down and they just hear like the guy next to them just hear. It does. Yeah, I'm just listening to 30 minutes of some guy howling. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, join me. So, yeah. So, are you still under the impression that The Shape of Water was a good movie?
So good.
Okay.
That last night I saw it again.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I saw it again last night.
Although I regrettably did agree to watch it at some point. Wait, you went to the movies? Like you paid again to watch?
I got a large popcorn and a soda pop.
Wow, it was good enough for you to like shell out money for crappy food too. Like a lot of money.
I went with my dude Brian.
Oh yeah, B-boy
Brian.
Hey, there we go.
Shout out.
Yeah, you better give us a shout out for giving you a shout out.
Twice now.
Yeah.
So we went. His feeling about it was what I think yours was. He just couldn't get past how weird it is.
Yeah, the horrible storyline and title.
The title was
which actually reminds me, like this past year has been like
a flop for movie titles.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and it's like the acclaimed titles too. Like, it's like, you know, that one was up for is up for an Oscar.
Would you be willing to read some off?
I would love to. I will read them off up here. Steel Trap, baby. So we
what's that on your phone right now?
We have. I memorized them.
Well, you're looking at
my phone that I'm looking at in my peripheral. You know what? Let me look good. No, well, so we have. Well, that's like a whole bunch, and I actually most of them really are in my head right now. So first of all, we'll start with The Shape of Water. I mean, ridiculous. Ooh, it's the shape of water. Like water doesn't have a shape; it just kind of conforms to whatever shape.
See the movie, and you will know why they call it that.
Fine. I did, like I said, regrettably, I promised you I would see it, so I'll see it, and I hope my opinion doesn't change because I'd still like to make fun of it.
Okay.
Either way, crappy title. We also have a movie that everybody loved that I also will say I've not seen, but I do want to see because the trailers look good. Is Baby Driver. Like, seriously.
Movie.
What?
dummy nice movie.
I know. Yeah,
I
like,
loved
I
it.
thought you were saying dumb movie. No. Yeah. See, that's another thing for our like little, colloquialism bits, which is just like slang.
Oh yeah.
You should have said like dummy nice or dummy whatever, because I don't get that. But anyway, yeah, Baby Driver. It's like, ooh, let's make this like I don't even know. It was like Italian Job meets Jack Reacher or something. I don't really know exactly what you would classify it as, but it's basically like or Fast and the Furious meets like a spy thriller or something.
It's kind of like Italian Job in the form of one really long music video.
Wow. Okay. But
everything's
lined
up to music.
It's like this crazy, action driving, with like some violence mixed in movie called Baby Driver.
Yeah, but you know what it did perfectly? Is you're talking about it now, about how stupid of a title.
True.
But everyone who's seen the movie loves the title.
Yeah, okay. Well,
it's intriguing.
So I guess it's the Shape of Water type deal going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And then, like, we had a bunch of kind of like sequels and movie franchise movies. So they had like the Jumanji, the remake.
It's not a remake.
Yeah, it was.
Not really.
Basically.
No, because they go into the game in this one. The last one, the game came out.
Right, so it's basically a remake. It's not a sequel because you're not going along the exact same lines. You're redoing it.
Listen to your butt.
I just proved you wrong. And now you're pointing a finger gun at me. That is not PC, sir. Not politically correct. Finger guns can probably, I think they can get you suspended in places.
You think?
In trouble, I think.
I'm in elementary school. Some kid had a chicken nugget shaped like a gun, and he started with it. I was suspended.
They had like the that's crazy. They had like the Spider-Man movies and the Star Wars and all that.
Give us a bad name.
But aside from that, they had like I said, The Shape of Water, Baby Driver, It seriously?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Like these movies are all like supposedly like from people that watch it, great movies. But I just think, could have put a little more effort into naming them.
Okay, what else we got?
It's like, hey guys, are we gonna make it? Yeah, we're gonna make it. What are we gonna call it? Well, we've been calling it, so let's go with it.
I mean, yeah, but it's off a book. So if you're gonna blame anyone, blame Stephen King.
Fine, Stephen King, you're stupid. No, you're actually like creepily brilliant. Let me see. There was
the Emoji Movie.
Yes, there was the Emoji Movie, which is ridiculous. There was also what was that one called? It was like an address or something weird. Or
Cloverfield Lane?
No.
I was like, what?
No, it was also up for an Oscar. It was
this year.
Yes, it is up for an Oscar. It was.
Oh, the 3 billboards?
Yeah, the 3 billboards on...
The 3 billboards outside Ebony, Arkansas or Alabama.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like, what the heck?
I heard that wasn't even a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't
a lot of...
Oh, right there.
A lot of Oscar nominations aren't. Okay, well, you don't actually have to click on it.
Well, Missouri.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Just, I mean... Like, were they like driving along? They're like, hey, we're gonna need to go to a meeting and whatever, and we're gonna drive there. And they're driving along. They're like, hey, look, it says Ebbing, Missouri. Look, there's 3 billboards. Oh, hey, movie title, baby.
Or watch this. Weapons, if it has to do with something with the movie.
Well, I mean, I guess, but it's just like.
So
I don't know. And
speaking about bad titles.
Yes.
The D&Z show. You want to know how long it took to come up with that? 5 seconds.
I was going to say days and days of deliberation. No, it was like, I was like, hey, let's talk about the title of the show. And I had a couple ideas, and he's like, D&Z show. I like D&Z show. And like I brought up another thing. No, D&Z show. I think D&Z show is good.
What were your other ideas?
And like,
we could do like a mid-podcast switch.
we could, but they'll probably hate them. No, I was my one like my biggest one, the one that I kind of like brought up a couple times, and literally like within 5 seconds he came up with D&Z show and stuck on that, and then finally he wore me down, and I'm like, yeah, D&Z show. But the one that I thought of was All Things with Dan and Zarek, because we talk about all things.
And it's with Dan and Zarek.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that.
It's pretty straightforward. No, but D&Z show, it works. It now has a fond place in my heart. It's simple yet elegant.
There's not elegant. There's something to say.
It's not elegant.
So why not the Daniel and Zarek show? Like, why do we gotta shorten everything down?
It's true. It's kind of crazy because it's like nobody actually calls me D. But people, like, it's about a 50-50 split between people that call me Dan and Daniel. But there are people, including myself sometimes. Most of the time I'll call you Zarek, but sometimes I'll call you Z, and there's other people that predominantly call you Z. And it's weird because, like, way back in the day, like, before we were born, pretty much everybody went by their full names, like, whether it was, like, William or Richard or Daniel or whatever. And then somewhere along the line, like, they're like, that's a little too much. Like, let's go down to, like, Dan and Bill and,
And now we're getting into, like, the...
And now, now it's like, dude, we can only muster, like, one letter. Like, hey, Z, hey, D. Like, I actually known a Dan that went by D and other people that go by D. And I think a few other names. T. I've known a T.
Mr. T.
Yeah, there's Mr. T. I pity the fool. But no, it's funny, and it's not just limited to names. Like, we've gotten super lazy in all our language. It was actually
French fried fries.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy. I think most of the people listening probably don't know this, but also back in the day, like I think actually people know a little bit about the founding of McDonald's because of The Founder, the movie that came out, which is actually a really interesting story. I've never seen the movie, but I've read the story, and it's very interesting. But with McDonald's and like other places too, originally they called them French fried fries. And then they decided, which I think like that's a little redundant, French fried fries. And so they eventually went down to French fries, which, that's like the happy medium. But then, French fries became too much. So we decided we had to go with fries. And here's the part that I don't even get. They decided to go even further down the road to fry.
Yo, give me that fry.
Which is confusing. Because, like, do you want one fry or do you want many? It's like we can't even take the plural. We have to go to the singular of the word, even though we want plural. So it's like, do you want, like, one large, massive fry? Or
I feel
are you just too lazy? Or are you just too lazy to say fries?
We're going to start a movement.
Which is crazy.
Hashtag French fried fries. We're going to bring it back.
Hashtag French fried fries. Or even if we go to French fries, like, I'm okay. And honestly, fries. Yes, it's lazy, but I mean, I can be lazy in my speech too. But at least be grammatically correct. Like, here, I want a fry. Okay, here. And that's what they should do. I think we should start a movement. We should start a movement where we have all fast food workers give people who say they want a fry one fry.
Okay, but here's what you run.
Hit them where it hurts in the stomach.
You're like that stupid teacher. Like, you go to the teacher, like, can I use a bathroom? And they're like, I don't know. Can you? Bro, shut up and let me go to the bathroom.
It could be legitimate. Maybe they have questions about their ability to use the bathroom.
There's no place.
But that's okay. That's different, though. That is different because, like, I mean, that's like getting mad at somebody for saying fries. I'm not getting mad at them for saying fries. I'm getting mad at them for saying fry.
This is what we prepared today for our podcast.
Yes. Well, I mean, no, we go kind of off the cuff and stuff too. We like we like to mix it up. Here and there and everywhere. But yes. So also, what I wanted to do is, remember I said before that I wanted to kind of keep it up, our fun fact segment, and my goal is to be able to not just state the fun facts, but is this picking me up from out here? Okay. I think it is. Yeah, it's bouncing up there. Okay. No, it's here now. Don't turn it up, or I'll blast their ears out again. I'll start howling. So I want to be able to form them as questions as well. So I found an interesting one in my research.
Fun fact.
Yes, fun fact. In the form of a question to Zarek, my co-host. What was the actual name of Sonic the Hedgehog? Like his real name.
This is a good one.
Yeah. You won't get it. Right now, $100 on the table. You will not get it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
His full name. It was
Sonic the Speedy Hedgehog.
No, and it's not Sonic. It's actually a different name. Like Sonic was kind of, I guess, like the nickname type of deal or something.
Okay, hit me.
Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. No joke. And when I first saw that, like I started looking into it and whatever, and
does that mean something?
No, it was created. It was like for Sega, so it was by some Japanese guy. I forget his name, but for some reason, he named him, and I think it was like Ogilvy Maurice Sonic in question, in quotations, like his nickname, like how they do like Adam Pac-Man Jones for in football. He's a cornerback for the Bengals, and they do.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, like, that's kind of how his name was.
Imagine marketing that to kids.
I know. Kids, let's play the new Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog game.
It takes like the 30-second ad. It takes 15 seconds to say the name.
Right. And don't forget, Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. Ogilvy Maurice Sonic Hedgehog. No, how many Fruit Loops flavors are there? Oh, that's you got it.
That's a popping question.
Boom.
One, if you're listening.
There is. There are many colors, but one. And I didn't even prepare this part, but let's see if we can name the colors. One flavor. The colors. I know there's purple.
There's yellow.
There's yellow.
There's orange.
There's orange.
Green.
Green. I'm 90% sure there's a blue.
Is there?
Yeah. There's got to be a blue.
Red.
We'll look it up and let you know for sure. Yeah. There's got to be a red. I think. I'm pretty sure.
They're
actually,
all right.
You know what? I'm going to have to do a little sidebar and go look up. Let me see. Fruit Loops colors.
Do you ever remember the boxes where it's like scratch and sniff?
Yes.
It's like basically before weed came out, you just got high off of Fruit Loop cardboard box.
Let me take a hit.
All your siblings are just passing around the box like,
right.
Oh, I love to follow my nose.
Right. So there is green, orange, purple, yellow, red, blue.
I think we said all. Oh, we did say purple.
Yes, we did say purple, and we said all of those actually. We got every single one right. Kudos to us. Oh yeah, we almost turkeyed there for a second.
What's your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal?
Hit me up.
I think I would have to say Trix. I loved Trix growing up, coming up as a young pup. I shout out to the Puppy Bowl. Yeah, I loved me some Trix. What about you?
You ever had the Rice Krispie treats, but it's a purple box? It's Rice Krispie treats, but it's like they're all clumped together like actual rice.
Oh yeah, like it's not Rice Krispies, it's actually Rice Krispie treat cereal.
Yeah.
Yes, I think one time in my life I've had it.
It's just like chunks of Rice Krispie treats.
Yes.
And then you pour milk on it. It's amazing.
Yeah, but that's like saying like I'm gonna like tear up cinnamon rolls and throw them into, and I'm not talking about like the cinnamon roll cereal. I'm talking about like actual cinnamon rolls and stuff. Anytime you grab a dessert and throw it in milk, it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cheesecake cereal.
I don't like cheesecake.
Oh, I love cheesecake. Well, I mean, looking at me, you can tell I like too many desserts. Okay, but here's a follow-up question. What is that flavor? There is one flavor for Fruit Loops, and what is that flavor?
Yeah, what a question that is.
Right?
Cardboard.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Fruit. F-R-O-O-T. Fruit.
No. What?
No joke. And apparently it is a blending of a whole bunch of different artificial fruit flavors, like artificial strawberry, artificial, whatever, probably all those colors. Yeah, it's just a blending of it, and they call it fruit, F-R-O-O-T, and that is their flavor.
Fruit.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think
That's
so
probably
too.
why they could get away with that, because like you have like a red one, like, oh, I taste some apple, and then you have the yellow one. Oh, for sure, banana.
Exactly. This one's pretty great. It also gives so anyway, I'm just gonna ask you, what is the color of the toilet paper in France?
Well, I've actually been to France.
Wait, really?
No.
I was like, what? I don't remember this.
I don't. Blue?
Teal. Pink. Which gives us an opportunity to make fun of France. So, like, that's pretty great. Yes, their toilet paper is blue. And apparently, I read an article because I was like, I mean, not blue, pink. My bad. Blue on the brain because he said blue. And apparently, I actually read an article.
Is there a reason?
I read an article that originally their toilet paper was like a light gray. And for some reason or other, like some marketer or marketing company or something along the line decided to turn it pink. And I don't remember the reason. But yes, so it is pink. So yes, they are sissies in France. They wipe their butt with pink toilet paper.
With their French fried fries.
Yeah. / freedom fries.
That is is there a reason why?
I don't remember exactly what the reason was. Like I said, it started out light gray, and then somewhere along the line, some of like the marketing firms or somewhere, and I mean it was a long time ago. I think it was like 60s or even before that. They decided to change it to pink. And I don't remember the reason they thought that was a good idea, but now it's pretty much all pink.
Weird.
Yeah,
I
weird.
mean, but like we have white, but like brown on white really shows up. So I wonder if another color like won't make it as. I mean, it's whatever, but like gross.
I'm pretty sure brown on light pink is gonna show up too.
But it'd be like what, Neapolitan ice cream?
I got some brown some white toilet paper, some pink toilet paper, and some brown stuff. I'm pretty sure wiping my butt doesn't make me think of Neapolitan ice cream. But whatever floats your boat there. I guess we should do some pink and white stripe ones so we can get it all in there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mark,
business idea. What was the most confiscated item I guess it was one of the most confiscated items at UK, the United Kingdom, British airports. You know how like the TSA here and stuff, like they'll confiscate certain items.
a knife.
No.
Shampoo.
I'll give you a little bit of a hint. You actually probably haven't, but yeah, like it's like that. It's how liquids in too big of a bottles or whatever. Like it's could be explosives or whatever. So yeah. So it's something kind of like that. It's more pasty, but it was in like a bottle or a jar.
Hit me up.
Marmite. Marmite. I have had Marmite.
Oh, okay, that's the really gross stuff.
It is absolutely disgusting.
I thought it was like Vegemite.
It's a spread.
What am I thinking?
There's Vegemite.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
too.
Why did they take that away?
Because, like I said, it's in like the bottles or whatever, and it was too big. And it actually prompted Marmite to make smaller little ones for traveling that they could put in their carry-ons.
Is it like what's the appeal of it? Like, why do people like it?
I don't know. They love it. Maybe it's because they like grew up on it or something. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah. How many scents can the human nose remember? Like you smell. Yeah, you smell.
Honestly,
stuff.
probably not a lot.
So what would be your guess? Like how many different smells can you remember? You know how like oh that smells like whatever. That smells like a blend of whatever.
Bro, that's weed. That's poop. That's
skunk. Woo, woo.
skunk.
Have we gone over that on this show?
No, we haven't.
Speaking of scents.
But let's answer this and then
My favorite smell in the whole world is
Or not.
skunk. It is. Don't ask me why, but it's beautiful. And everybody's like, "Oh, did you smoke?" I have never smoked weed in my life, and I hate the smell of weed, but I love the smell of skunk. Can't explain it, but I do.
Gasoline smells pretty good.
From afar, like when it's on you and stuff, it gets really strong, like too strong. I also like old, kind of like rusty metal smell. Fantastic. And then my second favorite smell under skunk, though, is bacon.
Okay, I'm going 20 for the question.
20? You're just a wee bit off there, sir. It is 50,000.
What?
Yes. Apparently, you have the ability, but I think it's kind of like up to, like it's kind of like, you know, if you're like a genius and there's like the Mensa Society, which is like the Society of Geniuses. So I'm guessing like the equivalent of that for noses is like, yeah, we're in like the 40 to 50,000 range, you know, for what we remember. So I think like guys like you are probably in like the 10,000 range.
Okay.
Although that still sounds like crazy, but yeah. So up to 50,000 different scents is what you can do.
Okay.
Which is nuts. And apparently, so I always like I will look up and like try to, you know, kind of scrounge the internet for different fun facts, and then I will actually do research to kind of look into the background and also to make sure it's accurate and I'm not spouting like false fun facts. But so that's why I have to put a disclaimer on this one is I did not actually research this one. So I'm hoping this one's true, and I will look it up after the show, but I'm going to go ahead and ask Zarek anyway. How long each day or night, whatever, do bullfrogs sleep?
18 hours.
Apparently not at all.
That's the trick question.
Yes. But and actually, you know what? Let's go right now, and let's do this.
That'd be a long day.
How long?
To beat a bullfrog.
It would be. It definitely would be.
Like I feel like being an animal would be so boring.
Yeah, but kind of happy too, because like you got no pressures. Well, except for staying alive for some of them.
Yeah.
I guess that's a pretty big pressure. American bullfrogs can often be found resting during a state that appears to be sleep to the untrained eye. Okay, so here's something. Oh, okay. Opposite, confirming the bullfrog is the only animal that never sleeps. So, like, from what I can find, is like during the average day, they don't sleep, but they do have like hibernation periods, where like for like a couple weeks or something. So, but like, you know, when they're going around day to day, they just don't sleep. They save it all up and then sleep for a couple weeks at a time, or something.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. And apparently, like, they have this like kind of rest thing where like their eyelids start closing and you think they're asleep, but they're actually like fully awake.
Your dog's doing some things.
My dog is sneezing. Bless you, woman. She is the best.
Woman Cam.
Woman Cam, there she is. Oh, now she's rolling around. Are you the wiggler? Are you the wiggler? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're the pretty girl. Mm-hmm. She's the best. She got her waggy tail going on. Here she is. Are you joining us, woman? So anyway, yeah, so that is, I mean, look, dude, we've made it like an hour and 4 minutes. That's a good time to close, I think.
I'm down.
But definitely looking forward to the Super Bowl. I actually have 2 different Super Bowl parties that I'm going to. I'm going to try to drag Zarek to the one as well. Like, he is going to the other one, but
The one.
so we can both do. And fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, and I will let you know on the next episode how it went. There is a men's bake-off at one of the Super Bowl parties. So it's basically a bunch of men trying to bake desserts and compete with each other. So I baked what is called a honey bun cake for that. And Zarek, can you give your review of my honey bun cake?
I like it. It's I know other people like were crazy about it,
Yes.
but in my opinion, it's a solid.
Well, at least my critics think it's solid, so that's good. I have no expectations of winning, but it would be cool, like, if, and I don't know, I've never even done this bake off before. They've actually done it annually for a while. I've never done it at this one before, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's just one winner, if there's like, first, second, third place. But if there are places first, second, third, maybe even like top 5, I would like to try to get into placement there. But anyway, so that is all we have for you. Stay safe where we are here in Columbus area. It is snowing. It snowed some, and it's going to snow a little more later. So stay safe. Have fun watching the Super Bowl, and have a great rest of your Sunday.
You can follow us on Instagram at D&Z Podcast and on Facebook with the same @
And YouTube.
And
you can
YouTube.
subscribe. Was it D&Z Show, the YouTube one?
Probably podcast, but
D&Z Podcast. Okay.
something like that.
But yes, and we interact as well with, if we're asked questions or whatever.
So, feel free to share. We are on iTunes. Write a review.
Yes.
Give us some 5 stars.
You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on iTunes.
We're not on Spotify
you
yet.
You can listen to us on SoundCloud.
But we will be. We kind of want more of a presence until we spend the money to do that.
Yes. But you can, like you said, you can listen to us on iTunes as well as SoundCloud.
And Google Play.
And we're up on Google Play now as well, and you can watch us on YouTube. So
many of options to get your fix of Daniel and Zarek.
Yes, because we all know you need that. So, as always, thank you and good night.